got new shows every Sunday.
And I'm rambling for Rob.
Here we go.
What up, everybody? This your boy B-Rob. Yada, yada, yada. Go to randomrob.com. Check out the sponsor, Hooks, Rubs, and Spices. Go to hooksrub.com. And you can get 15% off your order if you use promo code RANDOM. Go on and get that 15% off. Get them spices all over your stuff. But anyway, I'm tired as fuck. I was gone for the majority of the week. I went to Las Vegas with my family. Two of my sisters, one of my brother, one of my sister's friends, my other sister's family. My son came, my wife and my young child. We all were there in Vegas, and boy, was it fucking hot. Hundreds of degrees. I mean, it wasn't humid like down here in Texas or whatever, but it was just so goddamn hot. And it was just like a random family trip, so there was no plan, there was no structure. Everybody else besides me and my wife, they like to gamble. I don't think my brother-in-law liked it so much either, but I mean, he didn't want to go walk around the Vegas Strip. So this was for no rhyme or no reason that we all got together and decided to go to motherfucking Las Vegas and everything. A lot of hiccups and everything. The slightest bit of miscommunication because some people wanted to go gamble. And like I said, it's not our bag. And then, everybody else didn't really have a plan. We were just showing up and hoping somebody would take the reins. And I did not feel like doing none of that shit or whatever because of all the prep work that it took to get everybody to the place that we wind up staying in Vegas. So when I got to Vegas, I was just like, I washed my hands of this. Just tell me what we got going on and then we can make that happen. But there was not a lot of that going on. But all in all, it was still a good trip. Found a retro game store, bought some Game Boy games. Because if you haven't been keeping up with the Instagram most lately, at the 3R Show, I restored a DMG Game Boy. That's the model, the DMG, but it's the first original Game Boy. I found one on eBay for the cheap, like $20. I consider that pretty cheap, and it didn't work. So I have no prior experience with electronics. So I did a lot of studying at the University of YouTube to figure out some methods and some steps and some techniques to try to get this thing up and running. And success. I indeed got it to work. But if you go over to my Instagram, you can see the state of the outer shell of this console was pretty bad. I mean, it was literally yellow. There was a series of Game Boys that came out called the Play It Loud series. It came in a whole bunch of different colors because the OG one came in like this just basic gray model. And then they came out with this Play It Loud series that had yellow, I think pink, and some other crazy colors. But this was not one of those. And when my child, because she has become somewhat of a handheld game historian, she first saw it and was like, whoa, that's the yellow Play It Loud. Wait a minute. No, the shell was just yellowed and, so full of grime that it looked like it was a canary yellow, but it indeed was like cigarette tar smoke yellow. So I got on, I did a extended class on at the University of YouTube, and I found a method to restore, knock off the dinge and the yellow off the gray case. And once again, go to Instagram and you can see the results. It came out surprisingly well. And I've just been on a little kick lately. I've been ordering damaged consoles, handheld consoles, to see if I can repair them, to test my might, test my skills and everything. And I'm not going to lie, I thoroughly enjoy it. So I got another Game Boy coming in, original. Then I got 2 Game Boy Pockets coming in, and also a Game Gear. Prior to these, I scored a 2000 series PSP for like $20. That was advertised as broken, did not turn on. And when I got it in hand, the screen was good. It didn't have a battery cover or a battery. So I ordered a battery cover and a battery, and the bitch worked. So, I mean, I like that shit. I like when things come into play. So I didn't really have to test my electrical skills on that. But the Game Boy, the original one I got, it was more of the same thing. Said it didn't work. It indeed did not power on when I put the batteries in it. So I bust that bitch down, opened it up, and I cleaned everything. I cleaned all the electronics in it. Cleaned all the battery connectors and all that because they were corroded. Washed the case out as best as I could before I did the UV treatment to restore the case. And I put that bitch all back together. Put batteries in, motherfucker work. So, I mean, shit, I'm willing to gamble on a $20 broken, and I'm doing air quotes, console to see if I can get that motherfucker to work, because it's relatively easy. I just have to have the right materials. You know, to do the UV restore, I need a UV LED strips, a plastic Tupperware container, and food grade hydrogen peroxide, 13%. Because the ones that you get, the hydrogen peroxide you get from the store is a consumer grade, and it is only 3%. I found that out the hard way because I didn't pay attention. I just seen, hydrogen peroxide, and I grabbed my nearest brown bottles and I poured it in there, wrapped it with the lights. It did not work. Then I did further research. I had to go back and do a refresher course at the University of YouTube, and found the right components that I need. Dropped that bitch in there, let it sit overnight in the UV light bath, and that bitch came out pristine. So, I mean, I just enjoy that process in itself. So, I mean, it's all been a fun experience, and I'm just looking for that challenge to test my mettle with these electronics. So I don't know what the state of the Game Gear is in, and I've been looking up hella videos. I did my Game Gear refresher course and familiarization course on YouTube, and that was a beefy bitch. It actually has a light tube in that motherfucker to brighten up the screen. So like those old school big booty TVs that we used to have back in the day with the tubes in them to light up the screen, that's what made the Game Gear light up. So they have a mini tube in there. So there's IPS and TPT screen replacements that eliminates that tube in the back. And there's some soldering to be done to implement those new and updated screens for these handhelds. So we'll see if it comes to that. And I'm rather looking forward to seeing that, because I've never had any experience with soldering. I never used a soldering gun, except for a couple weeks back. I used it to burn some things, literally burn some things. And most recently, my young child had a Game Boy game, original Game Boy game, Frogger, that didn't work. So I had to get in there and resolder or refresh or retin those pins in there, because the game wasn't working. I got in there, cleaned it, repinned it and whatnot. Didn't really have to add any solder. Just made sure those connections were fresh and tight, and boom, the game worked like a champ. So call me Mr. Fix-It, Rob the Builder, if you will. But anyway, went to Las Vegas, hot as fuck. I'm tired as fuck. That's why there wasn't a long drawn out intro. And I'm surprised that I'm talking this fucking long, because I intended just to come in here, say I was tired as fuck, and dip the hell out, which I'm about to wrap this up. But on top of that, spent all that money on that Vegas trip, did some things, came back home, had to get the fucking dog out the damn daycare, and the motherfucking dog limping and shit. And I'm like, what the fuck? And then I had to take the motherfucking dog to the goddamn emergency room, because it's Sunday as I record this. Today it happened. It's fucking 8:30 p.m. Central Time, and I'm just getting home within the last 2 hours after I woke up at 9 a.m. to go pick up this goddamn dog, because yesterday when we were supposed to be back at like 6 p.m. to pick up the goddamn dog, no, Vegas said, we want you to stay longer. And they delayed our flights from 3 p.m. Central Time, 3 p.m. their time, Vegas time or whatever, They delayed our flight from 3 p.m. local time in Vegas all the way up till motherfucking 6:30 local Vegas time. And then we had to fly all the way back to Houston. And by the time we got back to Houston, got the car and everything, you know, kennel closed. I had to wait till in the fucking morning. So I got charged another motherfucking day because the goddamn airport didn't want us to leave. They wanted us to stay in the motherfucking terminal and possibly gamble, which I don't do, so fuck them. Yeah, but it was an adventure. I'm tired as fuck, so, and then I'm trying to still as we speak, figure out some other hacks and mods and everything that I can do to my daughter's PSP console, the one that I told you I scored for $20, because it looks like it does have some small slight issues, but it's something that can be easily fixed. So I'm doing more research on that because I can't stand to look at it do the things that it's doing right now. And I know that I can fix it, and I'm just sitting there like, let me do something to it. And she's just playing it like it's cool and like nothing is wrong with it. And I don't understand these kids to where something breaks and they just keep rolling with it or whatever, and they just deal with the inconvenience of something being broken if they can work around it instead of trying to get the issue corrected. And I just can't stand that shit. I've had 2 Nintendo Switches in this house that had been broken for the longest. I mean, they still fired up, they still played games, but the Joy-Cons and all kinds of other shit was all fucked to hell. But them kids didn't say shit. 1, because I guess they thought they was going to get in trouble. And 2, they just been playing it with the broke shit. So I don't know to be amazed or how to feel about that. So whatever. But I wind up fixing those Joy-Cons, which wind up being an easy fix. $13 in parts to save you $70, $80 for another set of Joy-Cons, because they only sell them in sets. I don't think they sell them individually. And then if you go on eBay and try to buy an individual one, they got hella knockoffs that you buying, and you ain't getting it under $30 fucking regardless. So fix that shit for $13. I fixed 3 of them for $13, and it all came in one kit. So, you know, I've seen people get rid of these things and, you know, talking about they was broke. I can't use these shits. I was like, give them to me. Let me look at them. Because it might just be as simple as getting some isopropyl alcohol. What's my percentage? 99%. And cleaning your electronics, which, wow, that fucking blows my mind. You could take isopropyl alcohol, you know, the alcohol that you get, you know, you get a fresh cut and you dab it on the back of your head, you get 99%. You just dab a little not a cotton ball, Q-tip or a toothbrush in that shit, and you can literally scrub your electronics clean. It's safe on your fucking electronics. I did not fucking know that. Thank you, University of YouTube. Thank you very fucking much. And the young child went on her first roller coaster while we was in Vegas. We went to New York, and she screamed her head off. Thought she was going to die. She's like, I lived 11 years for nothing. And that's what I'll leave you with. And thank you for joining me for this edition of the Random Rounds with Rob. Follow me on Twitter at 3R Show. Go to randomrob.com, find all the things and stuff, and join me Wednesday nights live on mixler.com/fanoff for RBR Weekly Wrestling Talk after AEW Dynamite. And to you, I say, I will see you next time.